Means we can also get some Dota 2 sounds, and here we go. We're in. We're good to go. Fantuan, it's in July, who's doing the drafting and picking for them on the EHOME side. We've got Old Chicken still drafting for the team. Lanham, known for being the kind of drafter and leader of this team, but it seems ideas coming from elsewhere, at least for the start of 6.86, and so far EHOME's drafting has been all over the place, I would say. You look at their best of 3 yesterday, they drafted something different every game, and even the game they won, it was very chaotic. It was very much some great individual plays. Old Chicken himself on a Timbersaw out of the mid lane had a crazy performance, and they're also versing a very kind of funky, cheesy strat with the Lifestealer, Ancients, Infest. So all in all, have not been particularly impressed by EHOME's drafting, I would say. It is a new patch though, so I think they're just going to be a team that needs a bit more time to adapt and see what's strong and see what other teams are doing before they can really decide how they want to play and draft things. But this opening, very safe, standard. Well, I guess less so the Earth Spirit, but the Gyrocopter first too. No surprises there, and doing so in response to the pickup of the Undying. So they've now got the Gyrocopter to help deal with the Tombstone and the zombies that come out in a fight. So just being able to flak off the Tombstone, helping your teammates out, taking all the zombies off them as well, makes Gyrocopter a pretty handy hero to have against the Undying. Spirit Breaker will be the option for Fantuan as their third pick now. Very common pick in the Chinese scene, and well, no big surprise to see this big fella picked up, and typically ran in that 4-position support role, so suggesting that, well, I guess with the Undying pickup, one of these two will be in the offlane. We'll have to see if it's going to be Spirit Breaker or Undying. Not sure where the preference lies when you're versing a hero like Gyrocopter. Similarly, these two heroes could just be paired up in the offlane, kind of splitting the farm and not really having like a clear, okay, you're going to be our offlaner, you're going to be our support, give me all the last hits, yada yada. Yeah, no, Visage going to be the pickup for them, so it's kind of a, I would say, CDC style pick as far as EHOME's draft is concerned, especially if they are running that 4-position Earth Spirit for Kaka. It means it will be Lanham playing the Visage kind of as that 5-position Q-like support, something that CDC do where they'll still give Visage some space and some farm. Like with the Gyrocopter, it's fantastic because Gyrocopter hits level 6, hits level 7, and then rotates to other lanes. He wants to go for those early TP rotations, and I think with that in mind, the Visage picks gets a whole lot better when you've got Gyrocopter on your team, just because you get that lane freed up when Gyrocopter vacates, because he's such a good hero to rotate with early on. A lot of safe lane farmers, even ones that you try and maybe TP rotate, like let's say Jug, you TP, you Omni Slash, and then suddenly you're back to farming because that's your ulti, down for 2 minutes plus. Gyrocopter, for one thing, his ultimate's got a shorter cooldown. For another thing, he can rotate just with Rocket Barrage alone. So it means Gyrocopter spends a lot less time off the safe lane once he gets his levels in his early game farm, and that means Visage is just that much more powerful because of that. So we'll see Viper now picked up, suggesting that it will be a safe lane Queen of Pain for Fantuan. Possibly see a ZSMJ Viper in the middle lane. Not necessarily an exciting hero, but one, I guess Fantuan decide they want to just secure for themselves and go for what seems to be maybe a preferred playstyle around the kind of Death Ball, where you just get 5 really strong heroes that can just group up, push down towers, take objectives, even more so when you're on that Dire side and have access to Roshan. So it seems Death Ball Dota is perhaps back for the time being on this new patch, although it is still too soon to tell, and also haven't really seen enough of the new patch and the new teams to know if this is really even the optimal way of playing it. It's not even every team that's running this kind of play style. And there we go, mid laner against the Viper, going to be an Alchemist. Not actually a terrible matchup for the Alchemist by any means. He should get slightly out-farmed perhaps, but as far as heroes to go up against Viper, Alchemist can just kind of sit back, put the acid down. Viper should be able to deny a good chunk of the CS, but for the Alchemist, it's at least a lane where he can get an okay amount of farm and then rotate back, farm some neutral stacks, and maintain a good level of farm. And I imagine we will be seeing a more fighting-oriented Alchemist. The minus armor with the acid amplifies up the flak damage, the Visage familiar damage. You can go for a Medallion on the Alchemist if you want. You can go for a Roshan around that. So that's kind of my speculation as far as the Alchemist is concerned. Probably looking just for that last pick for the old 11 offlane, which is where Fantuan also target their last ban. They take out Tidehunter, possibly just see something more standard like an Earthshaker for him. I say standard, it's not necessarily being a top pick, but it's something that 11 seems to play quite a bit of still. Does still remain in the pool should he want to go for it. And Fantuan themselves looking for most likely just that kind of safe lane support. That kind of zoning hero to kind of destabilize their lanes. And Dazzle gets banned out as a result. So Dazzle, AA, Lion all taken out of the pool. And as far as options that are left, Disruptor's still there as one that kind of stands out. Bane's also banned out. They go Bounty though. They're going try melee as far as their like supports and utilities go. This means, oh, okay, XZ Brood. Oh no, sorry, XZ. What I'm talking about. This ain't CDEC. I was talking about CDC earlier when I saw the Visage pick. I'm like, oh, it's a CDEC draft. They picked Visage Gyro. Like this is exactly what CDEC do. And then I see them pick Brood. I'm like, oh, this is even more CDEC. Like they've got the XZ Brood, but no, this is old 11 on Brood, and that is a hard pick to deal with the Fantuan draft. This is a best of one as well. So a best of one to see who's going home here, and we're going to get some good old classic Broodmother play coming out, and that's not exactly the best draft to deal with it. A roaming support Bounty Hunter. Undying, it looks like it's going to be in the offlane, so Spirit Breaker and Bounty paired up as the two supports. How exactly do you lane and beat this Brood? I imagine they just kind of send a Queen of Pain there with like an Undying, and I think, well sorry, Undying's offlane, so Bounty tries to get some sentries early and just harass the Brood a bit, but realistically this is an amazing Brood game, and there's just nothing to deal with him that well, so could be a very, very tricky one for Fantuan as far as the Broodmother is concerned. We'll see how 11 can do on the hero, as that's going to be another key thing to look at. If he's not as comfortable on the hero, if his Brood play is not exactly refined or flawless, then his mistakes need to be punished by Fantuan if they want to have a chance against the Broodmama. Gyrocopter early TP CTY says, hello Spirit Breaker, you're not getting any wards down. We'll see what's happening elsewhere on the map. So it looks like ZSMJ will be playing the mid lane Viper for Fantuan. We've got Paparazzi playing the Queen of Pain, headed towards the safe lane, probably to deal with the Brood. Spirit Breaker in the hands of DDR, I believe in the support role. Pretty hot on the Bounty Hunter, and that does leave Undying. Where you at, mate? In July, playing the Undying. He's going to be going to the offlane. For the Radiant side, EHOME, old 11, or 11 as he's really known, playing the Broodmother. Kaka going to be playing the 4 position Earth Spirit. Lanham, the captain, well, I don't know, he's still the captain. He used to be the drafter. He's no longer the drafter. Playing the Visage, we've got CTY playing Gyrocopter, and that leaves Old Chicken playing mid lane on Alchemist. So he's going to be looking to secure himself a bounty rune. Fantuan really going greedy and trying to secure both. It looks like maybe they've realized that there is something happening at this bottom lane. Pretty Hawk going to scout out the Alchemist. Do they try and contest this is the big question here. His Shadow Walk still has a decent duration left on it. It looks like this Observer will see a decent amount, and Brood's just looking to secure this one. Queen of Pain blinks down though. Gonna go for it. Gonna force the Brood to grab it. Brood gets it. Still an acceptable blink from the Queen of Pain. Does mean the Alchemist does not get the 3 times bounty rune with the Grievel's Greed at level 1, and he didn't actually level it up yet, so he can now go Acid for the lane, which actually helps him out quite a bit as far as this lane's concerned. Already a couple of Tangos, Poor Man's Shield, and a Salve at his disposal, but this is going to be a tricky and annoying lane for him. They also did not get the ideal block necessarily here. Something where Bounty Hunter is going to be looking and fishing around for that courier, but you look at Old Chicken's items, you've got to kind of gather that he's not going to be ferrying anything out anytime soon. He didn't get the bounty rune, he's already got his salve, so I don't think he's going to be able to get the courier snipe until Alchemist gets either boots or bottle coming on the courier, which may take a bit of time here. Kaka, oh, just out of range. Doesn't find the Observer Ward. So that one's going to be left untouched here. Mid lane, Old Chicken, here comes the harass. This Poor Man's Shield needed desperately. Not for that, this lane just, well, not so much that he can't lane in this one regardless. He gets his first CS now, and it comes at the cost of a salve, but not for that Poor Man's Shield. He's just basically dead there. But we'll see if they can make up for in the other lanes. Viper has taken a bit of damage himself and has got more Tangos at his disposal. Picks up a magic stick as well as a salve, so there's MJ. Not exactly having the best time as far as his ability to sustain himself in this lane, being forced to ferry out more and more regen, which he's just going to have to continue to do against the Acid Spray. And once that gets up to level 2, it gets even harder to deal with. Here we go, they're going to roll themselves in the mid lane. Kaka going to hit that nicely, but he didn't have any secondary spell. He was still just level 1. Old Chicken only had the 1 point in Acid Spray, as you'd expect from him here at level 2. But does get the Viper low, force out of south, and does at least mean that Old Chicken secures this rune now at top. Hoping for the bounty rune, not going to get it. Comes bottom lane. Bounty says, sweet. I'll take that, gets himself closer to level 2, and more importantly, denies Old Chicken of the bounty rune, as he would have loved to have gone on that. An extra bit of juicy gold. So Sentry at the bottom, they do see Pretty Horse rotations with this, and the Pretty Horse Sentry not going to be in range to take out the Sentry. It's also placed nicely in this little tree pit, so pretty much very difficult to scout out if the Sentry was even in range, which it's not, so. Kaka, he's looking for initiation, catches Pretty Horse, but no dust, okay. Ambitious. Perhaps trying to scare him back to run to the right side into the Sentry ward, which is not happening right now. Charge at bottom lane, CTY could be in some trouble. He pops the flag, he has a rocket barrage as well. Great rolling boulder as well as the boulder toss. Kaka, he hit level 2 and he makes the best of it. Gets his team first blood, although they do still lose CTY. Kaka charged up again, and it looks like DDR just hoping for the bash. He gets it. 17 reasons to hate this fella. And LanM says, well, I got one thing to do to you, and that's throw a soul assumption at you. Gets the return kill, double kill for Visage. That's pretty much a dream start for a Visage, but and level 3.5. Suddenly, it's Visage who's looking really good on the Radiant side, but the trade still the kind of exchange that Fantuan want to be seeing out of their offlane. This is a very threatening rotation, though. Earth Spirit's TP'd in top. Something Paparazzi may not be ready for. He's going to be just camping around this 4-minute top rune. Good news is it means he scouts out Kaka and should not be going down here. Bad news, he's not going to be getting a rune, and he's got to go back to base to heal up, which is this lane completely just lost. Ooh, another kill bottom lane. They've managed to kill CTY once more. The same trio. They go in, and with the support TP top from Earth Spirit, it just meant he was very vulnerable down there. And again, poor Alk, unable to find the bounty rune. Just gets himself a regen rune. Old Chicken, 11 CS to Viper's 19. Not to mention 11 denies there, and there we go. Bounty rune picked up by Spirit Breaker, who hits level 4 as well off of that, so another point in the bash as well as level 2 charge. DDR. He's on the hunt. This is a best of 1 though, and this Brood is just to me the key hero as far as EHOME's concerned, just because of how hard it's going to be to deal with him. Spirit Breaker may have to look for like a charge onto Brood fairly soon with Dust. Once Queen of Pain hits level 6, ideal scenario is Queen of Pain has mana for Scream and Sonic Wave, and you see a charge in from Spirit Breaker with Dust. That to me is, that's the game plan for dealing with Brood. If Queen of Pain can just survive to get level 6 in lane, there's hope. You're going to lose the lane. You're going to get out leveled, which is what we're seeing here, but there we go. That's nice. You get a Scream onto some Spiderlings and get a huge little chunk of gold, and that's also suddenly level 6 on Queen of Pain. Still, no dust and no HP on DDR. He may have to just go back to base fairly soon. Yeah, he's going to TP himself home. Curious to see if the call's been made to try and charge this Broodmother. Right now, looks like no dust being picked up. Suggests he wants to just keep on killing CTY. Did go for the boots here, so it's always like that kind of economy problem where Pretty Hole wants boots, Spirit Breaker wants boots. You really want boots on both these supports, and as a result, not going to be able to get any dust for the time being. And perhaps it's deciding this is going to be the better kill anyway. CTY ganked up once more. The slows are there, the tombstone and everything. Another bash comes out. DDR catches CTY, and LanM could not be in some trouble himself. Pretty Hole will catch up to him. There we go. DDR gets him with the Orb of Venom slow. There's a Janata slow as well. LanM looking for the Grave Chill escape. Can he make it? Maybe just barely. Looking to try and charge him down. LanM escapes. Whew. Cut that one close. But again, somehow Visage surviving the bottom lane and making the most out of it while Gyrocopter struggles. This poor Gyrocopter. For those of you saying Quap's winning this lane, let's take a look at the net worth. There we go. There's the real story. Net worth going Brood's way. Fight in the mid lane here. ZSMJ secures the early kill on the Alchemist. There's Queen of Pain. There's the rotation. Scream. Sonic Wave gets one, possibly a second, and this is what Paparazzi needs. The Viper attack should follow. You betcha. ZSMJ picks up another kill. And with that, top lane open for business for 11, but realistically, that's exactly what Fantuan were looking for when they make a rotation like that. Get a couple more kills, and Queen of Pain successfully finds her way towards the middle lane. CS very misleading when you're versing a Broodmother, but if anything, like, I think this is great. Like, Paparazzi has played this lane incredibly well. Like, the fact that he's this close to a Broodmother is a lane well played. But very much Queen is not winning this lane against Brood, as some people perhaps suggested. Well, levels and items across the board. Like, you look at Undying, you've got Arcane Boots, he's approaching level 6. Old Chicken's been shut down on the Alchemist, only now hitting level 6, 7.5 minutes in. Another charge looking to come out from Spirit Breaker. DDR has been busy. 5 of the 7 kills have had his involvement, and here we go. They're going to catch the initiation on the Visage this time. Nice boulder toss. Does not stop the charge, though. Lanham goes down. It's the Undying securing the kill. The Shockwave, I believe, offering some assistance there. They break the Tombstone, which does allow them to kind of look to turn this one around. Pretty Hawk gets out of the Invis using the Magic Stick. Going to channel up a stun. Old Chicken, he can't throw it. The Jukes. Oh, Pretty Hawk, what a play. He's going to go down there. DDR comes in looking for CTY. 17%. It strikes once more, and now they want Old Chicken. He's going to channel up another stun. This one he should be able to throw. Turns at the last second just to make sure he gets the maximum stun range, as well as gets himself back to safety. And again, really nice play coming up from Fantuan. Good aggression here in the bottom lane, but it's still a Brood causing problems. 11 up top. He's taken down the tier 1 now, extending his webs towards the tier 2. And when Queen of Pain Sonic Wave on cooldown, that's very much kind of a freedom period. Gosh, Paparazzi. He may have vacated the top lane for Brood to take over, but he is making up for it elsewhere. The double kill in mid lane now finds a kill on the Earth Spirit at bottom as well. Looks like Bounty's going to try and get himself some XP in this top lane. As Brood picks up Phase Boots and Dust, says, well, Bounty, when it comes to my lane, I'm going to freaking kill you. Let's see how you like it up here. It really does feel like a not very carry-oriented Alchemist right now. And for EHOME, with Gyrocopter struggling as much as he has, I talked about how the Gyro Visage works so well together because the Gyro just goes for early rotations, frees up the lane for Visage. That doesn't happen when your Gyro gets pressured. He's 0-4. CTY has not had the game he was hoping for, and by sending these constant ganks CTY's way, it means he's not roaming. It means that lane is not being freed up for a Visage. It means the game plan for EHOME is just across the board not really being executed. Charge looks like was cancelled. DDR level 5.5 now, as we'll have a quick pause coming out here, taking stock of the game as a whole. Viper on the Dire side doing very well in terms of farm. He's picked up a mech. And ooh, with that pause, I finally get a chance to enjoy my tea before it gets cold. So you can see, not exactly on the brink of elimination against Fantuan. Still very much in the early game. Like I don't even feel like this is not a lead that you're going to write home about and be like, man, we're beating EHOME. Let's just now go from objective to objective, take the game. No. This game is in the early stages and very much. No, if this is one of those things where like this is 1,000 gold. If you extend this 20 minutes from now, a 1,000 gold lead is just something that you need to kind of work upon. So it's going to come down to Fantuan and what their next couple of moves are going to be. EHOME have positioned heroes around the top lane, looking to assist the Broodmother. Not sure if Bounty's scouted out the fact he's got. Okay, he's gone for sentries, not for the dust. It looks like. No, the dust was actually okay. The dust is going to have to return itself back. He's got sentries and dust. Charge onto Old Chicken. He starts channeling up the stun. And DDR a bit stuck here. Can he get the Quelling Blade? Oh, he gets it with the melee range. They both get stunned up. DDR perhaps traps here. Drops the Acid Spray. Karka's got a stun here. Silence up into the stun. And DDR going to go down. Meanwhile, top lane, Pretty Haw is being dusted. He's going to go down. Old 11. Tracked up, but not sure that's going to matter too much. He's life-stealing off the creeps here. So a couple of kills go EHOME's way. And we talked about that gold lead, how quickly it can disappear. And well, that's exactly what's just happened. A couple of kills and for Fantuan, they've got the Bounty Hunter track, but they need that to start leading kills into their favor. There's a charge coming out onto 11 here, and he will be going into that Phase Orchid build. Seems to be the generally popular Brood build for the time being. Got dust on Spirit Breaker, but he gets to the other side of the trees, which means backup is very, very far away. Oh gosh, of course he gets an insta-bash. He's just going to turn and look to fight, but that's not going to be possible. Not with the Scream Sonic Wave. So Queen of Pain, Spirit Breaker, that's the duo that can kill him. When they've got Sonic Wave, they've got the damage they need to be able to take out that Brood. Perhaps not as easy when Brood gets the Orchid, because you can use that somewhat defensively, prevent the follow-up Nether Strike perhaps. Or even prevent Queen of Pain from coming in with follow-up damage. And Gyrocopter takes out Undying. Call down used with the Rocket Barrage. And Earth Spirit off of that, about to hit level 6. It looks like he'll leech the experience he needs here in the bottom lane. Visage denying that top rune. It's a bounty rune. Alex like, man, come on, I could have used that, but no. Dire Heroes swooping on in. That was not going to be a possible grab for them, and he gets another Arcane rune. Nice little rune if you've a hero with mana problems, but for Alk, it's okay. Like, you get the lower mana cost on the Acid Spray to allow you to use it a bit more freely, but realistically, it's not a amazing rune to be having. Here comes Fantuan towards the middle lane now. Old Chicken getting tracked up, but he's on the front lines here. Now the 5-man death ball seems to be beginning. With the Viper mech, they haven't really got anything done just yet. ZSMJ's had a good game. He's had the mech at a very good time. He's gone involved in 3 kills, but we haven't seen the towers fall, except on the Fantuan side. The top tier 1 going down very early, and the top tier 2 being pressured as well. That being the first tower Fantuan have taken. But I imagine they won't stop there. Problem's going to be dealing with this Brood. He's got that Quelling Blade now. Sentry's just being littered around to try and protect him as well. Deciding this is a key stage of the game as far as Brood doing well. And they'll get a tier 2 tower. Visage actually getting the last hit. Man, those 10 damage familiars somehow getting the last right click. I guess they do only marginally less. Actually, they do more damage than some of the Spiderites, and I guess less damage than the Spiderlings. Not sure how much is Spiderling. Yeah, 18 damage. Gyro, CTY, gotta be careful. It's being chased around by a bounty hunter. Those Spirit will rolling boulder himself the hell out of mid lane, recognizing the threats that are around, and there is Radiant Vision around that area, so they do have a pretty good idea of exactly what's going on. It's top lane though, they're channeling up the Alchemist stun. Not going to get it off. I don't know what Old Chicken's going to go for. I mentioned the Medallion pickup, but maybe even rushes something like a Blink Dagger this game if he's going to be played more as that utility initiator. Really nice Dire Ward here. Having deep vision's very important when you've got a draft around the Bounty Hunter Spirit Breaker. You need to have that vision from wards to be able to get off tracks. Especially at nighttime it can be hard, and also to get off the charges. CTY, has he stayed too long? He's close enough to his tower that Spirit Breaker decides to cancel that charge. And what's it going to be? Perhaps a Shadow Blade? I feel like Shadow Blade's probably better than a Blink Dagger, since it does allow you just to scale a little bit better. And you still have that catch and pick off potential to partner with someone like Brood. If you go to the offlane with that unstable Concoction Shadow Blade, you can kill heroes like Queen of Pain. I am going to fall around the mid lane. They drop the Tombstone now. They want Old Chicken as well. Man, that Decay just ripped apart his hit points. And he's going down, tracked as well. 2 track kills go Bounty Hunter's way. Pretty Horse suddenly piles up some gold. Ooh, Queen. Is he going to go for the Scream? Misses it. Oh, CTY. No TP. Charged up. 3 heroes nearby. TP from the Earth Spirit. Oh, that's some very cautious play coming out from FT, but they do not have the information I have, where it's like, okay, CTY's alone, has no TP, has no mana, has no cooldown, and just an Earth Spirit behind him. But that does mean Magnetize, and Brood is always nearby, could come in for a flank. The Brood at Orchid I think would be a bit riskier, but Brood's Orchid on Courier and has not been delivered just yet. This game looking not particularly great for EHOME though right now. It's Fantuan who have been able to get a lot done on the map. We'll see if that's gonna... Ooh, is he pretty hot here? No, he hasn't got dust anymore. I wonder if he's passed that over elsewhere. Looks like the Gyrocopter as well as Earth Spirit both holding on to some dust of their own. They're going to smoke their way towards top lane. Something that may go unexpected because of this Observer Ward. And also it's just 2 heroes here. So EHOME likely will be looking to show heroes like CTY and Old Chicken on the map just to make this smoke gank that much more likely to succeed. Landing with a ward in hand as well, so looking to perhaps get some vision down with this smoke usage as well. Sonic Wave from Paparazzi, just looking to clear out the creeps here. There, where's the Orchid? There we go. Perhaps a little bit later than I was expecting, but he gets it off in due time and prevents Queen of Pain from escaping away. Track on the Brood, though. Does mean Brood needs to back off a little bit and try and maneuver around that one. Has to be wary of getting charged now as well. But without Queen of Pain's damage, it is not an easy kill to get on the Broodmother. And what's it going to be? Alchemist, Armlet, okay. So going for a fighting carry build. Not the Shadow Blade I mentioned, but something to boost up his hit points and boost it up quickly. Although you do lose a lot of hit points over time, so you've got to be careful about how you use this. What's the Radiant Vision? No, it doesn't look like it. I'm about to say, that was a dicey smoke considering you're in a web and there could be spiderlings on you. Old Chicken now going to be the one getting caught out here. He needs to turn on his armlet as soon as possible. Does do so. I don't think that's going to be enough though when he goes down. Viper picking up another kill. Is this? No, it's not a Maelstrom, is it? It is a Maelstrom. Okay. Maelstrom coming out from ZSMJ. He's going to be at least a hero that can deal with spiderlings. Gives him some farming potential. Really good for like flash farming jungle camps, pushing out lanes, and just increases that the rate this hero farms at pretty dramatically. Old 11 going to try and turn and fight his way out of this one. Does have the Earth Spirit here to back him up, but no mana for the ultimate. Kaka just going to go for a TP out, gets Shurikened, and will not be successful. Paparazzi now on the chase here. They've got another charge. Old 11 needs to be careful. Blink Screamer's there, and he may just be going down here. He's not inside a web as well. He has not got the movement speed, and it's a secondary track kill. Track kills galore for the Fantuan side, and considering their supports weren't doing all too well as far as farm goes, these track kills, a nice little boost here. DDR will pay for this with his life, but considering his team gets a track kill out of it, they'll take it. Love the item choice to go for the Ag Scepter. They're really just itemizing to help deal with the Brood. I think they recognize we did not draft around Brood being in this game. Let's get items like Ags on Quap, Viper with a Maelstrom, get some AoE, get some wave clear as well. Like, you want to be able to push out lanes so you don't have to be threatened by a split push for when you group up for your Death Ball. Like, let's say like 20 to 30 minutes in, you're taking an Aegis, you want to go push tier 2s. Brood's always going to be split pushing. He's going to be pressuring that top lane. Ooh, almost finding the courier. This is where you go for the XP leech, pretty hot. Not seeing it just yet. Use dust on Kaka. He's not going to risk it, it looks like. Sentry ward. Oh, just out of range. Pretty hot. He's going for the kill. CTY gets low. He doesn't get the kill right away. DDR meanwhile getting stunned on the backline. So it's a track, and Pretty hot should be able to get one last right click. He's got the movement speed. You betcha. Gets a solo kill on Gyrocopter. Paparazzi, I believe, may be coming in time to get some track money. Not entirely sure on that one, but EHOME just falling apart, and with this being a best of one, suddenly EHOME's tournament life is looking very unhealthy. Charge out onto Brood. TP coming in from Earth Spirit. No dust available though, and that means DDR is going to back himself off. Definitely something he needs to be proactive about continually having. I like this adjustment from Queen of Pain. Says, well, you got an Orchid, I'm going to go for a Yules. I'm going to make sure I have an escape, and a very cost-effective one at that, to deal with the Brood Orchid. So we'll see a Yasha. It looks like either a Manta or possibly a SMY coming out for Viper following the Maelstrom. He's getting some extra stats, and a Manta could be good for getting out of the Orchid himself, although I don't know if he's going to likely be a target of that. CTY, uh-oh, gets the cooldown out. Shuriken with a cooldown here. DDR getting very low. He needs to just maybe get the hell out of here. Has got the Shadow Amulet. He can look to just hide with this one. He'll do so, and Old Chicken, oh boy, is he low. That's a track as well. Oh no, they're just losing heroes one by one. It's Dominoes. And EHOME are the ones getting knocked over by Fantuan. Sonic Wave Scream will clean up the Spiderlings, and that's a lot of farm going the way of Paparazzi. Should be just about his Yule Scepter. 100 gold short. Needs to be careful not to die before he gets that, and I believe he may do so. Orchid with the Boulder Toss. The silence there as well. Paparazzi getting low. The Magnetizers are going to be enough. Yes. Charge, though. Can Old Levin escape this one? Surely this time they've got some dust. Yep, you betcha. He's on the high ground, but there we go. A track kill onto Brood. Well, Brood not having too much fun anymore. He had a good laning stage, but the mid game has been all Fantuan. Here's MJ. Perhaps a bit too aggressive here in the bottom lane. Has not got mech just yet, and the familiar stun's there to help CTY. Who gets what is almost a solo kill, I believe. Not sure if Visage was there in time for golden experience. There's familiars there, and Blade Mail out. Man, that is a desperation play if I've ever seen one. Good news, they slightly slowed down the Queen of Pain Orchid, but that Queen of Pain managed to get like 1 or 2 more last hits. Only, oh sorry, the Orchid, the Yule Scepter, what am I talking about? The Yule Scepter was there, then you can get out of those silences, and EHOME are just going to have no way of dealing with a solo Queen of Pain being able to stop the split push is what they don't want to have happen. But with Yules, you can't really stop it, so, oh boy. Glimmer Cape now on bounty, so the mech perhaps coming elsewhere. Are they going for? Oh yes, so of course they've had the mech for ages on the Viper. What am I talking about? Looks like he's going to go for a Glimmer Cape. Undying's going to go for a pipe. I say pipe. I don't know if that's 100% going to be. Still, Casual Hood is ridiculously good against Gyrocopter if you can get it nice and early. So, I don't necessarily think he's going to for sure get a pipe out of this. He may just look to go back for an Ag Scepter now, since the Ag Scepter is such a good upgrade on the Undying. But yeah, with the buff that Hood received, I'm wondering if we're going to see more just like Casual Hood pickups. Could definitely be a thing here. And all these supports just having useful utility items as a result of all these track kills. Child in the mid lane, CTY, he's got backup. Boulder Toss will go for the backlines here. DDR now on his own in the front lines. He's got Shadow Blade, but he's used it to initiate, which means he's got no escape, and I believe that should be a kill. Can they even throw the Alch stun? He needs to launch it. He stuns himself, though. Earth Spirit trades his life for the Undying, so at least kill the Undying. Spirit Breaker does end up going down the backlines. An Old Chicken making his first rotation into a team fight, and it pays off big time. Brood still chasing, has an Orchid, but the Yule Scepter may allow an escape here. Paparazzi, not getting caught just yet, will TP himself home. So, good fight for EHOME. Not sure if those were track kills going Fantuan's way, but still, it's the supporting cast who die. On both sides at that, but the extra kill onto the offlane Undying is on the side of Fantuan. But that's the first good fight we've seen for EHOME, and very much coming off the back of Brood actually rotating in and being at that fight as well. And also Spirit Breaker committing in deep. That was such a good, what is it, Boulder Smash coming out from Earth Spirit. I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, he'll just cancel the charge with Boulder Smash. Instead of doing that, he stuns the 2 heroes who are running in. He's like, okay, you charge past, I'm going to kill your backup. And Spirit Breaker was suddenly alone in the middle of like 2 or 3 heroes. And Earth Spirit had hit a great 2-hero stun into Magnetize to help his team out. So Kaka making a really nice move there. Puts his team at least back into this game for a little bit. It's a 5,000 net worth lead still, but that's swung about 2,500 in EHOME's way over the last couple of minutes. Uh-oh, Pretty Hawk. Not looking so pretty right now. He'll get taken out. Earth Spirit getting the credit for that kill. And he's got a Yule Scepter, it looks like. Yep, Yule Scepter can be flying out, and he's level 10 now. So max, this is, I think, like one of the points where Earth Spirit gets really strong. You've got max silence and max stun with your ultimate. The ultimate gets quite a bit stronger at level 2, the extra 25 damage. So maybe you could say level 11 is where the hero gets really strong. And oh my gosh, Old 11, that's a Brood. That is a Brood. Can he get the charge out? Another 2-hero stun from Kaka. Won't quite get the Queen of Pain, but Queen of Pain's still in trouble. Familiar's nearby. Lanham gets the Grave Chew, which could spell his death. Can he get the blink out? Just barely. Oh, he was too slow on the stun. Meanwhile, Zetus MJ, he's run in, and it looks like he'll pay the price. Spirit Breaker did actually escape there. How the hell did Spirit Breaker escape? TP'd out. Okay, TP's on cooldown, so it looks like he somehow managed to TP out, and the Visage going for the Queen of Pain also escapes, so everyone somehow lives on the Fantuan side. That looked like EHOME were just going to destroy them, and the Brood, oh boy, is he a fighting machine. Now with the Manta style just about complete, we'll be able to dispel off the track, which is always very, very pesky and annoying for him to verse. And suddenly the game's looking a lot more neck and neck between the two teams. Pretty Hawk going to continue what he does best, which is just raid enemy territory. Apply pressure where he can. Ooh, Courier. Can he snipe that on the way back? It's coming in soon. He needs to position himself well, and I think he'll see it. Oh, here we go. Speed burst not available. Oh, he doesn't quite get it. Slightly to the side. He thought about that neutral, and he's like, oh wait, that's a Brood. Brood coming in hot. Likely just going to see him drop down this other Dire ward and then be on his merry way. Let's be very careful with what he's doing in general. Good leech experience here, but something which sometimes becomes a telltale sign. He is pinging out the Alchemist, saying, look what I found here. But a 2k Alchemist in Chemical Rage form, not exactly an easy kill by any means. EHOME. There we go. I talked about Lanham playing this kind of like CDC play the Visage, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Goes for the Arcane Boots and Mech. Playing a support Visage, so to speak. I mean, the hero typically is a support, but not that greedy kind of farming your AUI 2000 classic style that he's done in the past. And that's how the Visage was initially kind of brought into the metagame and proven to be really strong, but using the hero more... I mean, the hero, all in all, is used for very similar purposes. It doesn't change too much how the hero is played, it just means you're not quite getting the same kind of items and transitioning into a late game physical damage threat as much when you go for this build, but this is much more teamfight oriented. EHOME have snuck themselves into Roshan, and Fantuan are not here in time to contest it. They do have the high ground. It looks like they're going to be forced to fight, whether they want to or not. Maybe that's another question to be answered here. Kaka getting a lot of damage done here. He is hasted up still. He's going to defensively use himself. The Sonic Wave not going to do enough for Fantuan. They've lost 2 already. And Earth Spirit still alive somehow. Finally gets chased down by the Bounty Hunter to the backlines. Queen of Pain getting chains done. Great Visage. Familiar Micro and Pretty Whore dead as well. 4 for 1. Even with the high ground, EHOME cannot fight into the Aegis, it turns out. Did they even break the Aegis? No siree. CTY still has his hands on that one, and most importantly had a BKB for that fight, and now he's got even more. Well, it looked bad for EHOME for a little while, but Fantuan, they make a bit of a slip up there, and a really gutsy call from EHOME to go for the Roshan sneak. Does not get punished. That's against a team with Undying. If they get caught there, it's all over for them. You drop a tombstone on the high ground, you're grouped up for like a multiple hero charge into Sonic Wave, but EHOME, their aggression and their ballsy play pays off for them. They'll get Roshan, they'll get a couple of kills, and now they're in a position where they've still got Aegis and they have complete control of the game. They definitely have the lead at this stage, and well, I talked about the Shadowblade pickup for Rauk. He will go for it now, so he's got an initiating tool and it's upgraded into a Silver Edge already. And the item perhaps against the Viper of all heroes. Get rid of that corrosive skin. I say that confidently. I'm not entirely... It's one of those things which it disables most passives, but there are some weird and a few exceptions of things it doesn't disable. I want to say Viper is one of the things it does just fine against. And more importantly, it's like good initiation with the invis, and HP is something that Al can obviously make use of pretty well, considering just generally HP is one of the weaker areas of the hero. So a couple of towers. I mentioned a big swing. Yep, 5k gold the other way now. What's Bounty looking to do here? Probably just get a few more tracks off to help with the defense. Having vision of these EHOME heroes could be important here. Lanham has a way to get rid of the track himself. Now with the Guardian Greaves. He wants to hide. Perhaps wait for the Bounty to come back into him. Drops a secondary sentry ward here, and oh, Pretty Whore may just run right into it. He's right behind them, throws another one, blinks away. Okay, nice bit of play there. This is what he needs to do. Throw tracks and get the hell out of there. Landon walks into the trees here. Has he been scouted? He'll see Pretty Hard on the high ground, though. They ping him out. Where's the catch, though? And it looks like the catch isn't there. They say, who needs to catch him when we get a tier 2 tower? Okay, now they can catch him. They throw him up in the air with the Yules. You'll see a boulder toss waiting for him on the ground, as well as an unstable concoction. Nice kill, and they don't get a chance to get the blink out on the bounty. Old Chicken gonna man to himself and a dodge here in the mid lane. He gets Greaves back up as well. He's life sealing. Sonic Wave, gold 11. Ooh, not gonna. Oh, actually, Orchid was on cooldown. A lot of damage being dished out on the Old Chicken as well as 11, and this may be the end of this push, even though they've still got Aegis. They just can't sustain it. Next Guardian Greaves in 20 seconds, though. The upgrade to the Greaves from the mech does mean you've got a much shorter cooldown, down to 40 seconds from, I believe, like 60 or 65 on the mech. Oh, can they hit the stun? They get the Yules. The stun's going to be waiting for him. He lands it perfectly, the defensive Yules, but here comes an Elk stun. Can he get it off? You betcha! Gyrocopter secures the kill, even drops a cooldown. To add the exclamation mark into that kill on 32 minutes in, EHOME. Probably just saying, yeah, we always had this game, guys. Should never have doubted us. Your rares are safe with us. Or your Arcanas, as some people like to bet. And EHOME... Ooh, looking to pull some Axe Scepters here. Oh, whoa. Bounty. That was a blink in aggressively? That was a bit crazy. Feeds away a kill, perhaps thinking they'd backed off. He maybe saw C2I bottom and thought that was just like an opening to get some tracks off and go aggressive, but perhaps wrong call. Is he? I'm guessing he's pulling the Axe to the Earth Spirit this game. Visage is pretty good, but I feel like Earth Spirit is the Ags that you want. Hitting the geomagnetic grip onto ally heroes to save them is just incredible. Not to mention the ability to turn your opponents into rocks themselves and pull them from afar, kick them from afar. I'll lose the Aegis now. What is that extra ability called? I always forget what the turn enemy into stone ability is called. We'll find out maybe if he's pulling the Axe Scepter, which... Oh no, he's going Octarine actually. Whoa. Normally you see this with the Radiance build, but it is hit points. Makes him very, very tanky here, and also reduces his cooldowns, so more uptime on the stun, more uptime on the ultimate. Acid Spray, same thing, but not something I expected to see out of a non-Radiance Alchemist, but either way, something a bit different. Also, not to mention items, so we will see a shorter cooldown on stuff like the Shadow Blade as well as the Blade Mail. Gets the denying the tier 1 tower. So there's a bit of ways to go before it can finish off the Octarine. And around the mid lane, EHOME wait. Hoping for a jump. Paparazzi blinks in aggressively. The blink on cooldown for 3 more seconds here. They could force the defensive Yules. They'll do just that. He's still got the Orchid. Doesn't go for the Queen of Pain. Instead, looks like they're going to be forced into hitting the Tombstone. The Manta style great against that, as it gets broken very quickly here. Old 11's going to be careful. The Sonic Wave's going to miss. Queen of Pain fishing for it. The Greaves now get used to heal him back up a little bit as well. Chase is on. They want ZSMJ. It looks like they'll get him. That Magnetize just tearing apart Fantuan. The Viper now going to have to buy back here. Kaka on the front lines has another stun soon. It's going to land it on Paparazzi, but the charge will save his life. The Gyrocopter unable to get the follow-up damage here, but he does come back, take out the Spirit Breaker. Could look for pretty hot here. With the Butterfly, C2I on the front lines, just very, very difficult to deal with. I say that, he's getting low now. The Shuriken is going to be enough. That's a godlike streak being ended, but it's a dieback from CTY. Old 11, his ultimate just about to come back up. He pops it now with an AC. He's tanky, but he dies to what looks to be the Shadow Strike damage. Actually dies to some creeps here. Buybacks across both teams here. Tracks onto everyone. Pretty Hot actually blinks in. Kaka turns around and says, oh, you want to fight? I'll fight you, mate. Alchemist has come back to the party. Paparazzi goes down in the unstable concoction now, and uh-oh. Pretty Whore in trouble. Everybody's just died back. Buybacks galore, and GG is called. Fantuan have no defenses left. Pretty Whore going to get kicked away. And EHOME through to the next round of the lower bracket. Not exactly convincing. And unlike